Samurai salute. My Shogun brothers, salute. Bulldog community, salute. It's your brother Big Toyo. I always be loyal, so y'all just stay royal. Alright, today I'm going to talk about Big Toyo's truth. Big Toyo's truth say, I bet all my money, historically speaking, back in the day, if I was back in the day when them guys used to could do that stuff they do without getting in trouble, I always see the truth as the one who lets the dogs talk to him, the one who listens to the dogs, the one who conversates with the dogs. Now, I'm not going to say that person is going to be undefeated, but I'm going to tell you like this. The person who grabs some dogs, he grabs some dogs that he chooses to buy from any line that is available, long as it's 100% pit bull. A young man can go get 2 dogs, 2 or 3 dogs, 2 or 3 puppies, bring them all home to the family. And him and his family could raise them dogs as part of the family. They ain't got to be thinking about how good the dogs could fight or anything. They just raise the dogs as part of their family. They breed the dogs in years and years. Never thought about fighting them or whatever, just breeding them. They as family members. After so many years, the dogs and their family, they become almost one. You'll have some of the old mother dogs kind of seeming like they're picking up from the humans so much stuff that when the humans have a newborn baby, the mother dog is kind of showing signs that the baby is coming. Or when the baby is there, the mother does certain things. This is the dog I'm talking about. And this is a human baby. So all the humans in there that's tied to that dog, they're going to notice that. It's a trait being shown. Hey, this dog kind of rubbed up against my leg when we used to eat dinner at the dinner table. She would always sit up underneath me and rub against my leg when I was pregnant. You got stories like that. You know what I mean? Like old female dog was probably there when that woman was younger or before, or had another kid or whatever, but they so close that the dog can pick up that she's pregnant. So she could use this as a sign going forward. Even if she in denial, if that dog do certain stuff, she could bank on that dog telling her the truth. All right? And this is how you creating a family of dogs. They tied to your family and all that. They ain't got nothing to do with no fighting and none of that. If you got a real American Pit Bull Terrier that's not mixed with anything, I'm trying to explain to you what the truth is. Now, this dog was bred before you got your hands on it, hundreds of years or whatever. So it was bred already specifically for certain things. So after that process became a standard, once they got to the point where as though they didn't have to mix them no more and they just was like keeping the lines pure, then everything else you getting after that, you are somebody that's getting a product that already comes a certain way. All right. Now what you do with that product is basically on you. You got some people that I will call the lie. I'm going to call it the lie. All right. The lie is what I would call people that their process is, see, they're trying to get wins, like competition. They want to get wins. This is when the competition spirit comes into the lie. Okay, the competition spirit changes the aspect of the relation between the ownership and the dog. Okay? It's a total difference from the lie than a person that's treating the dog as a family member. All right? They both getting the same product though. All right? The ones that got the competition spirit in them, they're gonna buy the same product as the person that's just buying a pet or a family member. They're buying the same product. The competition spirit that made the lie buy the product, his reasons for buying the product is totally different than the other guy. The other guy that's buying a dog for a family member. And we talking about the beginning. So the guy that had the competition spirit in him, he always was under the hood, tweaking the standard to accomplish what he wanted to accomplish. He wanted a specialized animal out of the standard. So this is why I call them the lie, because they the one that went under the engines and started trying to specialize in things. All right? Trying to create things, which is glorious. But their reasoning was because of the competition spirit. So, and what I mean by that, they're gonna go against nature. When they're breeding, when they're dealing with the dog and all that. They're gonna go against nature because they have to simulate nature to move forward. They have to create evolution. They have to play God. You understand? You seeing the lie? Are you understanding the lie? Okay. If you're not, just listen. When you're doing that, you're no longer dealing with the truth. Now you're trying to create a truth. You're not going with nature. So which means when you start going under the hood, you play God, so you're making what you wanted to make. You want it fast, you want it hard bite, you want it gameness, you want it whatever you wanted. You tried to get it. You experiment, you know? Now the lie and the liars, they compete against each other because it's experiment against experiment. Now listen what I'm telling you now. The man that had bought his dog for family member purposes and you know, whatever. It was just like you bought the dog for a companion, family member. You bought the same stock as the other guy, but you didn't have the competition spirit. The dogs just talk to you as family members. So I'm going to tell you a little bit what happens over here in that situation. What happens in that situation, I showed you how certain traits come out and the family members can understand them, showing you that I recognize when you ready to have a newborn. I recognize when trouble is coming in the driveway. I recognize when I can hear stuff y'all can't hear. I'm going to let you know. This is things you get naturally. You didn't go under the hood. You got the regular stock version, and it's giving you things naturally. Okay? Boom. And they was breeding over the years, not under the hood. They just letting the dogs be natural. So the family of dogs, you know, this example over here is of people that's not trying to specify nothing yet. They basically, these animals are just family members to them. They only started to specify and go into hoods and stuff when the animals kind of made it obvious to them that, hey, I need this. You learned it by seeing, and your family growing and your environment changing and your activities with the dogs changing and different things. And the dogs still told you, they were the ones talking to you. You having conversations with the dogs. They're telling you what's going on. So use your imagination. You got some people that's listening to the dogs talk to them, and they go according to the path of nature, which means use your imagination. Look at it as kids or whatever. Some kids are going to be naturally talented in different things. If the activities in that situation, which means if a puppy comes up in the certain years, because I didn't put no dates on nothing. Both situations got their dogs at the same time, early. You know? So what I'm trying to say is the ones that was using it as his family members and listening to the dogs and just having happy conversations, they went through things too. Dogs got sick. Dogs died for certain reasons. Different things. Dogs showed aggressiveness. But it was all truth. Nobody made nobody do nothing. Nobody played with nothing yet. Okay? All these things I'm trying to tell you play parts in situations, which means, okay, say we're in the times now, both situations are in the times where dog fighting is legal. So this is a new activity that is legal, whatever, or it's getting popular to where as though the generation over here that was using their dogs as family members, the kids that are grown-ups now in that situation, they control the dogs in these generations. One of them is interested in going the dog fighting route. All right. Now, he didn't have these dogs as pets and family members or whatever, boom, boom, boom. Okay. The other people, the liars and shit like that, they've been building these race cars and shit for years now. So they done built up shit before the dog fighting was legal. They already was doing things. So now they have different types of models out here, race cars and shit like that. So, you know, and they calling themselves experts and masters in this craft. All right. Now the family pet bull owners and stuff like that, the people that's in charge of these dogs now, they want to bring one of these dogs over from their family of dogs over into this arena. Now, when you just look at it like that, you like, damn, that motherfucker get fucked up. But see, you got to think. He not just bringing the dog that was not built for him taking over there. He's only taking the dog over there that told him, I need to go somewhere. And the dog told him truthfully. Which means dog stuff goes on in both situations, which means The dogs over here that's aggressive in the natural situation are naturally aggressive. The dogs that are killers over here in the natural situation are natural killers. The dogs that are game over here are naturally game. Nobody forced them to do nothing. Nobody went underneath the hood. Nobody woo. The liars, they was geeking so bad because the competition spirit was in them that they created game dogs. They created what they call game dogs, or they created some hard biting dogs. They created some woo, you know, or they're gonna go around and buy other people's lies. You dig? So you getting caught in a circle of lies. If you're caught in a circle of lies. And the only one that's gonna be standing through all of time with the truth is the ones that stayed over there working with the natural stuff. But he's not gonna always be able to compete with all of these hot rods and stuff. Because natural order, you get what you get in the time you get it in. But when it comes, you have no problem going over to the other side and exposing the lies. So, that was part one of the breakdown of truth versus lies. And anybody want to see me about it, I'll be Monday night in the projects, Off the Chain Mondays, the Big Hill fan, Big TOYO'S salute. Let's get it.